We've got a full house over here. Rita's depressed. This is literally my retirement gift. It stopped the tractor dead. He is not happy. Good morning. If you hadn't guessed it, today is weaning day. We have our little non-helper with us. bottle babies. Oh my goodness. Bottle babies, you're in the way. That's it. Wow, we've got a full house over here. There's a couple things I need to do. Some of these feeders, my spouts are only working on one side, and I think I've got my feeders contorted a bit, so then my spout's not straight and it's favoring one side because my spout kind of forks off on the bottom where the grain comes down. So I'm gonna have to figure this out because these lambs are gonna need all the feeders, all the water. Looks like they figured out the water bowls. What I wanted to do was put them all on one side, and when we went to do weaning weights in a few days, I'd sort them based on male and female, and I figured the bottle babies would kind of train the rest of the group. Turns out they're thirsty enough. They've found it on their own, a few of the smart ones here. So what I did is the big pen, they all went on this side, and the bottle babies and the smaller pen with the older lambs are on this other side of the pen. So I'm thinking we're around 130 or 40 per side, but this is the most we've had in quite some time. It took us, I believe, 4 or 5 loads today, and then it took us 2 loads for those bottle babies over the last few weeks. So it's been a lot of lambs. I'm gonna just work on these feeders and get some hay sprinkled out for these guys, and then go visit the Golden Girls. Margie, a little less mean today? No tomatoes. Oh, look who else is in here. Are you guys all getting along now? Come on, Tita. Come on. Come on, Tita. Tita's depressed. All right. So on weaning day, I like to just go through the barn a few times and run these drinkers for them. They've been pretty good though. Every time I run them, they've been on it. So I think they're gonna catch on quick. Part of the reason is because it's quite warm today. Finally, it feels like May today. I was able to get this feeder fixed I thought maybe the spout was just not lined up right to the cross auger, but what it ended up being, there was some old feed and it just was plugged. So I got it. I just took it apart and banged it out, and a bunch of old feed came out, and it ran good. So that wasn't as big of a fix as I thought it was going to be. So yeah, these guys are going to be really loud today, tomorrow, maybe Thursday. But I'm hoping they're a little quieter by Thursday. I would like to do my weaning weights a little earlier, like Thursday. And it's going to take a good chunk of time to do them because we have enough. We have a lot of lambs, a lot of lambs. I've sort of been dreading weaning day. We had problems with this group from the very beginning. Like, I think they started lambing 10 days early. I had ewes down with pregnancy toxemia. I had 3 or 4 that prolapsed, and we were dealing with Jess's health stressors then too, which ended up being, you know, we got the diagnosis in the middle of lambing. Even right now, I'm like close to tears, which is weird. Yeah, just bringing them over here has been a little bit of closure, maybe. I don't know. I can't put into words how I'm feeling right now. Also very relieved because I have a pretty big list of things that I want to get done. Jess actually got the call from the hospital this morning. She goes for her first injection. She registers at 9 next Monday, which is 6 days from now. 6 days? I still need to clean the barn across the road. We are down to under 3 weeks for this next group that are due to lamb here. Our hay's getting done. I think we're going to try to drop it Thursday. And then I've got Bob and Ethan lined up to start Saturday. And the other thing is, Mark is finishing his last 6 acres of soybeans, and all the crops are in the ground now, which is wonderful. But he does need me to go roll those 2 fields that we planted today and yesterday. So I'm gonna run and do that. They're mad. Good day to be on a tractor. Unfortunately, I got kicked out of the roller on our last field. I have been having just a brute of a time the last hour and a half, hour for sure. I have to keep calling Mark, and I feel bad because he's trying to do his thing. I'm really frustrated. I hate it when I can't do something, like it really bothers me. So anyway, the one thing I can do is look at my sheep. So I'm gonna go deal with some angry mobs in here. Maybe angry mobs is not the word. Angry moms is the word. I promise you, they will be quieter in the next couple days. Today, though, they're mad at me. Hello, good day, good afternoon. That took quite a while, so I was gonna say good morning. I'm like, we are way past morning. There was a lot of manure here. Well, you can see just how much there was. So it is gone now. We're hoping to not have to stockpile here when I go to clean out these two pens. Hopefully yet, probably won't be this week. I would love it to be this week. Probably next week. And Mark said we'd probably just still try to use that dump wagon. I can use the wagon, I can do what Mark's doing, but he's backing up on the road and making a pretty big turn, and I get too nervous, so I said, you can do the honors this time. I don't want to jackknife that trailer. It was a good day to get this done. It's too windy for him to spray. That's the next big job for him in the fields now that all our crops are in. He's got to keep up with fungicides and herbicides and all the things to protect our crops and hopefully keep them growing. No rain in the forecast that we can see for quite a while. He's not too stressed about it yet. He said he would rather it dry right now so the roots will look for water. It just makes for a stronger plant. Now, in a few weeks, we will be starting to stress. So hopefully we'll get some rain when we absolutely need it. The other thing we've been doing is sort of getting everything all prepped for hay. And I do need to show you guys something that we did here before Christmas. It was actually sort of a Christmas present, sort of marriage counseling. Yeah, we bought something for this hay season and hopefully every hay season from here on out. I think I have some old footage actually I might just share with you guys here. I have to say, after this many years of doing hay, this is just a thing of pure beauty to me. So yeah, we did go with a case DC 133. None of this means anything to me. We're hoping that this hay vine lasts as long as me being a sheep farmer. This is literally my retirement gift. She's very pretty. I'm sure we will make quick work of that. Is it just me, or are these lambs fairly quiet? They look good. It's always a good sign when the second day is quiet. It doesn't happen very often, especially with a group this size. Must have found the water. They're working on it right now. That's amazing. Good job, buddy. I am thinking, since they're fairly quiet already, I might see what Carissa is up to tomorrow or Friday. I'm trying to think what day it is today. Her birthday's this week, so I don't want to have a big job on her birthday. Well, it's the 24th. Her birthday's Friday. Ooh. I'm gonna see maybe if she wants to do weaning weights in the morning. That might work out really well. Good morning. We are gonna take some weaning weights today. No idea what they're gonna be like. The problem with a group that lambed every single day for the month of March is that we don't have those nice big clumps of lambs. So it will be what it will be. That's it. Okay, Carissa just left. It is almost lunchtime. That took us pretty much all morning, but we just kind of just took it slow and steady, and the lambs responded really well. Like, they went into the weigh scale really well. The barn over there, I don't like pushing numbers over about 300 lambs, so about 150 per side, and we're sitting at 260. I actually think it's 267. I think 2 squeezed through a gate on me. So I have 265 recorded. I don't have data on this group because it's on my flock watch. So the one downfall of the flock watch so far is that it doesn't have a weigh system associated with it. Come here. So, you want on my lap? Come here. I'm babysitting this morning. So that is a downfall. So what I have to do is put these weights on the weights and the tags on Excel, and then send them the Excel file, and then they will attach it to the file that I already have set up for this group. But I can tell you the stats based on just the weights. It looks like the minimum weight is 25 pounds, max is 86 pounds. Average weight of this group, 53.51. That's the lowest we've been in a long time, and I still attribute this to, it's a natural breed. We had lambs born every single day, but we didn't have them born in nice big batches. So what you see is like an 86 pounder and a 25 pounder. But again, we had over 70 bottle babies. We had quite a few multiples off first time lambers, and I just don't think they have the milk either. I'm not sure about quality, but I don't think they have the quantity that is really required for even twins is nice, but over twins is pushing it. And I think with a few of these ewes, we had lambs that just would not take a bottle, so we left them on the mum, and that's always a mistake because they just never grow, and you're sort of sacrificing the other two that would have done really well on mum. So we're gonna have to try a little harder, I think. Even though we're busy and we're tired, we're gonna have to try a little harder to make sure we always pull, especially off first time mums. That's a lesson learned. We just weren't in the headspace, I think, for this group. I like the natural breed because I like the pace of it. I like how it's spread out, but I don't like it on this end. The real spread out weights, it's just not uniform enough for me. Of course, I'm comparing this to my December group. My December group's the best I've seen in maybe forever on our farm. So it's hard. And I knew this group was maybe not gonna be what I wanted it to be. Do you want out now? You're very high maintenance. We are cutting hay right now. We literally ran into some issues. If you remember, we redid these curtains here 2 falls ago, I think. I remember we had to do like a mad dash to clean everything up. The installers sort of left everything on the ground. And I remember we were in for like a snowstorm or something, and Mark and I remember like running around and cleaning everything up after they left. And one big spool of that, see that rope sort of that holds the curtains from like flapping back and forth? There's a big rope, and they had spooled it all up, but it was sort of laying in the grass all last summer. And I was cutting grass there, and I'm pretty sure I moved it closer to the barn, thinking that I was going to actually move it and throw it in the dumpster, and I never actually did it. Anyways, I think in the winter, Mark was pulling out snow, and it must have got in with the snow with the excavator, and our new to us DISCBINE found the huge spool of cable, and it stopped the tractor dead. It stopped the tractor and the haybine. I was in my office and I'm like, what was that? First of all, I thought it was the dogs, but I'm like, wait, all my dogs are here, so it wasn't the dogs. He is not happy. So it's a beautiful stand of hay. This is our second full year with this. We planted this last spring. So we got a mixture of grass and alfalfa. I think it's probably like a 70-30 split, like 70 alfalfa, 30 grass. With every cut, we'll do probably 3 cuts this year, maybe 4, but probably 3. We tend to get less grass every time you cut it, but the alfalfa comes back pretty strong. But yeah, here's maybe a better look here. The camera. So you can kind of see the grass in with the alfalfa. But yeah, it's a nice stand. Very happy because this is all the hay we have left right there. Which works out pretty good because you sort of want to cure this hay. It's called haylage. So what we're doing is we're basically going to ferment it. We use these ag bags here, and you'll see it this weekend when we get Bob here with the bagger. But the bagger acts as its own packing system, and then the bag it's almost like vacuum sealed. It's a real good seal on it. And then we just have to seal the ends and let it sort of ferment for hopefully 2 weeks. Like, I hope I still have 2 weeks left in this bag. But once those ewes are on lactating ration, which is in 2 weeks, then we're gonna hammer down the feed again. So it'll be nip and tuck, but 2 will at least start the fermenting. Like, it'll be fairly well, starting to preserve really quite well. Typically here, our first cut is our biggest yielding cut. Quality, it's actually probably okay because we're cutting early because of Jess's chemo next week. So we would usually wait a few more days, but usually the grass is starting to head out. So we're earlier than we usually are. And they're not calling for rain, which doesn't mean anything because we're dropping hay. Usually that is just an invitation for the universe to open up their sky. But you're not gonna do that, right? No.